At my ratings for the last, I don't know, month. Ever since I started doing shop and deliver. Trying to figure out why my ratings were taking such a dive. Well, they never... I'm not going to tell you exactly what they are, because I think that's... Anyway, they never went below 4.9. How about that? And I was getting pissy about it. I'm like, what the fuck else can I do, you know? I'm doing everything right. I know for a fact. Do you know I just got 100% fill rate? 19 shop and delivers in 6 days. Something I didn't realize till just now, so I'm going to share it with you guys, because as much as my haters think I'm full of shit, I like to keep things real. I've noticed it before, but it really sunk in tonight. I saw it. My average rating for my last week was 2 stars. Let me explain. I already know what it's from. You see, this is why I don't like the rating system, though, because you have to figure it out. They're not going to tell you what the 2 stars are for. And I piled those 2 stars up. I know I did. I was pissed. Why do you think I ranted so much this past week about ratings? Because, like, if you do food deliveries, you're never going to see anything that remotely gives you a fucking clue about what your ratings were for. Even if they went up. We've covered that. But especially if they go down where it pisses you off, you have no clue. But with shop and delivery, you do. It tells you your average rating when you get that email. Congratulations, you made top dasher for a week. Or, sorry, please try again this week. Well, I always get congratulations, which I'm very, very fond of, by the way, because I like to dash anytime. That's wonderful. I'm not saying it's a game changer, because I know how to use this system. I can dash with the schedule, and even if I stop dashing, I can get back on it. I know how to do it. Don't fucking say shit about how to do it, because I know how to do it. 15 minutes early, wait till the busy time, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I saw the 2-star average rating on my shop and delivered. It sunk in. I was like, well, damn. And then I got 2 thumbs down for food, something, handling, preparation, whatever it was. You know how you got those 4 thumbs? You know, that's a little insight. It's something, I guess. All right, let me explain something to you guys. I literally... Our Aldi just got the self-checkout aisles. It just got them, okay? Literally. It's been maybe a month. So this one customer I had, I don't do shop and delivers still unless they're a great payout, or at least one that makes sense. They don't have to be great, but they still have to make sense. So I go in there. I think it was 19 items or 22 items, whatever the hell it was. I found everything rather quickly, because, you know, Aldi's a small store and they don't have multiple of the same. They just don't. It's pretty much, this is what we got in this, that's what we got in that. It's pretty easy. That's what I like about Aldi. Myers is a nightmare, because they'll order an item from that side of the store, which is literally, by the way, I'm not even making this up. You can actually measure it. One side of the store is over here, this wall, meat and fish. You go over to the Maxi Pads, that's a quarter mile away. I'm not even making that up. I know Flex is going, oh my God, he's exaggerating. No, it's actually a quarter mile away. It's on the other side of the store, Myers. It's like a super Walmart. There you go. In case you guys don't have a Myers in your market. It's the same as the super Walmart. One side of the wall, all the way to the other side of the wall. And that little clock is still ticking away. You're like, wait a minute, whoa, what? That's when you know it's a generic timer. Getting back to what I was saying. I was new to this, okay? The shop and deliver at Aldi, because I didn't know if I was supposed to be using the customer's money to buy the bags. I didn't know if I should bring my own bags. Because they don't tell you anything. So what do? I go in there and try Fuck me. I try to save the customer 15 cents because the big plastic, recycled plastic bags that say all this, they're only 15 cents. The funny thing is the paper plastic ones are 10. But they ain't got no handles on them. So I'm using the plastic ones. But I don't want to financially screw the customer. So I'm like trying to use as little bags as possible so I don't spend too much of their money. This is fucked up. So what I did was, instead of realizing that most likely there is a senior citizen that is waiting for these groceries. It's an apartment. I already knew that before I took the order. You guys know how it works. So I see this apartment complex on my map. I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be a senior citizen. So like, oblivion. I got fruits, vegetables, seafood, I got meats, I got it all. For whatever reason, trying to save the customer 15 cents a bag, man, I jammed that fucking bag full like it was my job. I could barely pick it up. I still got a crick in my neck. She got 2 bags. I'm not gonna lie to you, after I left the apartment, I walked down, I got my car, I hit fucking complete. I'm like, nice payout. That was very nice, thank you. 100%. I knew it was 100% because I found everything. It dawned on me. How the hell is anybody else gonna pick that up? That bag was heavy as fuck. I'm not laughing. I didn't do it as a joke. I'm trying to save them money. That was the point. I was just trying to save them some money. Even 15 cents goes a long way in this economy. So I'm like, I want to be able to pick those up. You know? I mean, fuck me. I could barely pick them up. I might be an old fart, but shit. I ain't that weak. And I had trouble. Don't you know I saw a 2-star average rating for my last week on my shop and deliver? I know where they're coming from now because I've been a 4.97 to a 5.0 for over a year. And I've never done shop and delivers. I didn't do them. It's about a 6-month stretch for me. Maybe 8, but 6 is probably more accurate. I never worried about my ratings with food delivery. Never once did I worry about it. The worst I ever saw was 5.0 to 4.98. I'm like, well, who's the prick? You. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to take all that stuff and separate it very well. I'm going to spend up to $1.40 or whatever their money to make sure that all the bags are liked. You see what you got to do to be a dasher? You got to figure things out for yourself. Oh, by the way, nobody in this community was any help. Just so you guys know. Nobody was any help on this. I've been bitching about these ratings for a while. All my last videos show it. Not even fucking Dino could say anything to help. It's like, Dad, have you considered the fact that you keep talking about shop and delivers and your ratings are going down without you knowing why? And have you bothered to check your email to see what your average rating is for the last 7 days? Because that's the only time you get to see what you were rated for a job is on shop and delivers. They send you an email and tell you what your average rating was. So guess what happens? If you got an average rating of 2, that means there was also a 1 and probably a 3 and maybe a 5 or a 4. Now I know. Because I'm like, what the fuck did I do wrong? 100% fill rate? How the fuck does that work? Yeah, now I know. So actually, I'm going to get some sleep tonight realizing that I need to be more generous with the customer's money and actually put more separate bags and make the bags lighter. Because obviously people that are ordering groceries or whatever it is maybe they don't have the ability to pick up a 50-pound pack of fish. Fuck me. Sometimes I blow my own mind. I mean, I could sit here and talk about Roy all night, but I mean, really. I mean, I kind of pulled the fucking boner myself there. I knew that bag was too heavy. I'm thinking to myself, she's probably pissed off. And with as much weight on that, I know I've tried to pack them as well as I can, but you know, something on the bottom of that probably didn't make it back to the house properly, so that won't happen again. But you would think that DoorDash would give us a little help on that, and like, you know, a way to see. That's what I was getting at in my last videos. Just tell us what we're doing wrong so we don't do it again. I had to figure it out for myself, and while I did, because I saw the ratings for my last week, I still got Top Dasher for the rest of this week up to next Monday. But why did I have to figure that out myself? I think that DoorDash could put something more in place to where we could have a little bit more of an education of what we're doing right and wrong. If they really want us to represent the customer and make the customer happy, and the customer comes back to DoorDash to pay those fees, why not just give us more heads up on what we're doing right or wrong so we can either avoid what's wrong or maybe improve on what's right? I don't know if that's too much to ask, but apparently it goes a long way with me. Apparently it does, because I got a lot of relief on seeing my shop and delivers. That just came in today. It's right around 5:30 Eastern Standard Time when you get to see whether or not you made Top Dasher for a week and what your ratings were and how many shop and delivers you did and what your fill rate was. You got to wait for that. There's no way to find out until it comes in. And DoorDash does do it as clockwork. I look for it because it's kind of a big deal for me, because I do get the more orders when it's slower too. I get those two options. I don't know what you guys get in your market, unless you're just Top Dashers right off the bat, or you don't give a fuck. Either way, I got nothing but respect for you, because if you're dashing, that means you're going through the same thing I am, just in a different way. So I was really surprised with all the education and all the superb knowledge in the lounge, and Roy is the lounge now. With the lounge and Dino and even the DoorDash Revolution and Hot Facts with Robert Reese and all these big channels. And I said, yeah, they're big because everybody knows their names. Even the lounge talks about those guys. They make fun of them, but they're still talking about them. They obviously know about them. So I'm surprised nobody brought that up. Honestly, because we got Top Dashers galore in this community, and we also have Shop and Deliver Dashers in this community, and we have cherry pickers from hell in this community. But I didn't mean that way. I just, cherry picking is, I do it. My market is, and I'll say it again, is about 30%. And I'm not trying to fight the system. It's just 30% works for me. It does. I'll get 3 or 4 bad in a row, and I'll take 3 or 4 bad in a row. I'll take 3 or 4 bad in a row. I get 3 or 4 good in a row. It's like every fucking day. It's the same thing. It's the algorithm filling me out, I guess. It's like, well, we have to offer these to you, but we got a few good ones coming up. Just wait. And that's what it seems like, because it's been nonstop for as long as I can remember. Except for when I first started on YouTube and started trying to figure out what the hell I was doing and watched the lounge and everybody else and Nugs and everybody. It was like, you know, it was all the things that they said and did, and I'm thinking that this applied to me, which none of it did, except for cherry picking. Cherry picking is the one thing that does work for most people. I hate to say that, but rounded edges, cherry picking works. It just does. Worst part about it, though, is that once you cherry pick your heart out, then you end up waiting. That's the only bad thing about it. At least so you can multitask, but my phone doesn't really like multitasking too much. It likes me to stay the course because, honestly, if you wait for Dash to come up and work, it does. You know what I mean? It does. It'll always end up working, except for people like, was that Sarah Elizabeth in Florida? She can't seem to get a break. I mean, her channel kicks ass. Don't get me wrong. There ain't nothing about her I don't like. But she can't get a break. She can barely do dashing part-time. Just barely. That's sad. I didn't realize Florida was that saturated, or at least her part of Florida. Because I know there's that, like, cherry pickers in Florida. Or always cherry picks in Florida. I know that. I mean, he might be the biggest douchebag on the planet, but that's irrelevant. That's just an opinion of a lot of people. For me, it has nothing to do with me. So I really don't give a fuck what Always Cherry Pick says or what anybody says. I like their input when they're being real, though. I like their input when they're showing their day. That's why I'm still here. The fact that I'm still here should tell you guys something. if you listen to all the bullshit that I spew, you will figure out at the very end that you actually learned one little tiny thing. And that one little tiny thing goes a long way with a lot of people. It really does. It does with me. I mean, you know, I want to vomit my mouth when I watch the fucking lounge. But if you listen to it for a while, you can actually pick up some information that's useful. You can. You guys know I'm not lying about that. You can. You just got to wait for it, because most of it's just nonsense. But that's what they like in the lounge, is nonsense. So they provide it well, and they're good providers of that. So, you know, kudos to them. A lot of people like nonsense. They go to the lounge and, you know, they double fist it, the nonsense. That train's even got a boner. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. It goes alongside with what I was going to say about YouTube. YouTube, I privated all my videos, every single one of them. Reason being is because I didn't think I made 209 videos on this subject. I didn't. I'm looking at that, I'm like, why do I have 209 videos showing when I go like to up there at the top right and click on my channel, my videos? I'm like, it only says 209. It was at 199, 200, and it was 200. I was like, there ain't no way I've made that many videos. I still have videos from the past that had nothing to do with this on here. So I went to private everything so I could reset it, get everything straightened out, and I came home today. That was like 5 o'clock this morning. I came home today, and I noticed that I had 5 videos that were still up. I'm like, where the fuck did those come from? See, YouTube doesn't work right either. You really got to babysit these fucking apps and these all these platforms you got to babysit. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, what the fuck? So I went and found those. You know, some of them were like 5 years old. I'm like, what the come on. I said private all. I mean, if all doesn't exist, what does? I said all. And, you know, it leaves like 4 or 5 breadcrumbs for everybody to see. And it's like, okay, that's fine. I'm not embarrassed by them, but I'm trying to make this channel a one-way direction. Talking about this, I'm going that way. Would you please just listen to what I said? If I want to private all fucking videos, can you just leave them all private for me? One click should do it. No, can't do that. So that goes along with the algorithm with these gig apps. You know, they're not going to listen to you. They're going to constantly change, which goes back to what I said before, that if they constantly change, nobody's ever going to be right. Nobody's ever going to make the right opinion or statement. They're never going to get anybody on their side full time, because even if you go in the lounge and you got 13 people on the fucking in the lounge, you know, guests, you realize that those people are from different states, and even some of them that are in the same state, they're in different counties. That algorithm works different. I just ran into somebody from IHOP that was dashing, and she swore up and down I was nuts. She did. She swore up and down. She goes, there's no way. No. You will be deactivated if your acceptance rate is below 80. I'm like, no, that is the completion rate. She's like, no. She goes, I have declined so much today. That's why I'm this color. And she said she was making a joke about being pitch white. I'm like, what? And I said that to her because we were both waiting and aggravated because IHOP is slow as fuck here in this area. She says, I've been declining so much today, I went from 87 to 82. And I'm just afraid that I'm going to get deactivated. Now I said, no, you could be at 0 and still get orders. She goes, no, you get deactivated. You will be fired for that. I'm like, that's the completion. She wouldn't listen. So it's not just on YouTube that you have this problem. It's in real life that you have this problem. And that's why I'm glad to be a part of this community, because I had to learn all that stuff from you guys. So each and every one of you, the ones that hate me, the ones, I don't hate anybody, but the ones that hate me, the ones that I think are weirdos, the ones that I think are blowhards, the ones that I think are just here for drama, kind of like me. Everybody is in the same group. We're all in the same group. None of us are special. I know you want to think you are. I know you want to think you have the answers. But let's face it, you wouldn't have came to YouTube to begin with if you knew the answers. TORP out.